Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for My Hero Academia,
episode 16 of season 2.
Yes, and I am specifically not letting Jacob see the name of this episode because I was on Crunchyroll looking at the title, and yeah, it's kind of spoilery.
Yeah, I saw a glimpse of the name, but then quickly looked away because it seemed spoilery, and apparently I got the complete wrong impression.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes, it's a very specific title of an episode, and we're not going to say it here.
All right,
but stuff's going down.
Stuff is really going down.
Everything is going not so good right now.
Ida is in big trouble.
He's in trouble.
Stain is there. Mm-hmm. No moves, plural are
no
there.
Guys, that alone is a problem.
Yeah.
Who's gonna stop multiple Nomus? All Might? Where is he? Who knows? Do they have an All Might button? A bunch of heroes press a button and suddenly All Might's I gotta go.
Yeah.
And then he hulks out and just jumps for 50 miles or something.
And then of course there's Gran Torino that's there, but there's the three Nomus, Kurogiri, and Shigaraki. The
question is, will Shigaraki and Kurogiri actually participate?
Right. Now, although the big bad did say that he wanted Shigaraki to be the symbol of evil or terror or whatever.
Sure.
So I could
he might
see
make a statement here,
yeah,
essentially.
I could see him doing that. And then
And then it's going to be really a thing of how many good heroes are in this city here.
Right. Yes.
Hosu City.
Yeah.
Or it's just going to be bad.
And how many of the bad guys' forces can Kurogiri save when they end up running away?
Sure. I don't think we're at the stage where they can just disposably
get rid of Nomus. Right, I don't think so either.
But maybe these Nomus are weaker, so they can?
Well, hopefully they're weaker, because otherwise...
Well, yes, I'm saying almost definitely they're weaker than the ones that fought All Might. Because that one was designed specifically.
Right, and if these ones were at least on the equal level, then they probably would have sent them too.
And this doesn't seem as planned as much as the All Might USJ incident.
It's more of just a cause mayhem.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do.
Yes.
Because then we might find out more about the whole idea of beings that have multiple quirks.
Right.
Which is a...
terrifying notion.
Yes, a very terrifying bit of world building we learned last episode. Okay, let's get into this episode and just see what happens, okay? Right, technically he's not a hero yet.
That's true.
Oh, right. Yeah, Nomu's brother.
Brothers, buddy.
Yeah. Okay. It's this freakish scream.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Endeavor?
Is that Endeavor? Oh! Yes!
Okay.
Alright.
That means Todoroki's probably here too.
Try to find Ida. Oh my gosh! Thank you!
No, but...
Holy crap!
Whoa!
Oh, the big one.
Oh crap.
Oh. Oh, I was hearing him call out for Tenya. That wasn't actually where he saw him. Is that hero dead?
Maybe.
Holy crap. Gotcha.
死ね。インゲニウム、兄弟か。奴は世間に伝聞させるため生かした。
Oh, crap, dude.
お前は弱いな。
Oh!
お前も、お前の兄も弱い。
Oh!
偽物だからだ。
黙れアクト。お前が潰していい理由なんてないんだ。
Yeah.
俺はあんまセンスとか優れたもんないけどさ。ヒーローなんて肩書き背負ってんだもん。
This should be exactly the kind of
自分の
person that
働きが
Stan
たく
likes.
さんの人間のためになるのは嬉しいよ。
But maybe he's doing it because he feels like he has to, and not because he actually desires to be a hero.
Sure.
But yeah, he sounds like a great guy. What?
立派なヒーローだったんだ。許さない。殺してやる。
あいつをまず助けろよ。
Oh.
自
Oh.
ら顧みず他を救い出せ。己のために力を振るうな。
Oh.
目先の憎しみにとらわれ私欲を満たす。
Oh. He's scolding him.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
And he's not killing him.
no.
だから死ぬんだ。
Oh.
Oh.
体が動かない。
He needs to
Lick the blood.
lick the blood. Yeah.
正しき社会への供物。
Oh, that imagery. Yeah.
何を言ったってお前は兄を傷つけた犯罪者だ。
Yes! Yes!
Fast. Dang.
緑谷。
助けに来たよ。飯田君。
仲間が助けに来た。いいセリフじゃないか。だが俺はこいつを殺す義務がある。ぶつかり合えば当然弱い方が淘汰されるわけだが。さあどうする？
Think, dude. Think. Whoa.
Nice.
Location.
Nice.
Oh, he's calling for help.
推測でも何でもプロを説
Very good, Deku.
うべきだった。身動き取れない二人を守りつつ僕一人で時間を稼ぐ。
Good idea. Talk
Yep,
to him.
yep.
ヒーロー殺しを退ける。言ったろ。君には関係ないんだから。そんなこと言ったらヒーローは何もできないじゃないか。
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
言いたいことはいろいろあるけど後にする。オールマイトが言ってた。余計なお世話はヒーローの本質なんだって。
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh.
Oh, that's,
Even Stain recognizes
yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
ダメだ。切りつけられたらそんで
Whoa.
消えた。いや
5% デトロイトセ
Don't turn it off.
戦えれ。
Oh crap.
Already?
Wow.
たのか。
Just even the
Yeah.
slightest bit.
Yeah.
動けなくなるのか。
Dang.
違う。そうか。地下。
口先だけの人間はいくらでもいるが、お前は生かす価値が。
Wow.
こいつらと違う。
Crap. But
くそ。やめろ。やめろ。
Endeavor?
次から次へと。
Oh, no way.
今
Oh,
日
no
Yes!
way.
Yes!
Yes.
and he's using his fire.
こういうのは遅くなっちまっただろう。
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Yeah, just your location
君が
is a bit ambiguous.
Uh-huh.
なんでって
Holy
こっち
crap.
のセリフだ。数秒意味を考えたよ。一括送信で位置情報だけ送ってきたから
Well, yeah, if Endeavor's here, then Todoroki's nearby,
Right.
obviously.
お前は
Oh.
ピンチだから応援呼べってことだろう。こいつらは殺させねえぞ。
Dang.
ヒーロー殺し。
Todoroki.
Oh yeah.
One on one.
そいつに血見せちゃダメだ。多分血の傾向接して相手の自由を奪う。みんなにやられた。
俺なら距離を保ったまま。
Whoa.
いい友人を持ったじゃないか。インゲニウム。
Oh my gosh.
But he hasn't drank the blood yet.
No.
刀。ナイフと同時に投げて。
Whoa! Holy crap! Oh my god, this is a fight!
兄さんの名を継いだんだ。
Ida, we get it. But this isn't the time, dude.
僕が継いだのか。おかしいな。
Oh, I have plenty to say about that.
悪いインゲニウムはそんな顔じゃなかったけど。
Oh, well said, Todoroki.
Oh, you can move already.
己より素早い相手に対し自ら視界を遮る。愚策だ。そりゃどうかな。
Oh! Oh! Dude, that's... Wow! Oh, yeah!
普通に動けるようになった。血を取り入れて動きを奪う。僕だけ先に解けたってことは考えられるのは3パターン。人数が多くなるほど効果が薄くなる。
Right, which is what you
血
thought.
の摂取量で効果時間
And
が
that's
変化する
what
か
we。both thought.
Yeah.
血液
But the actual
が
reason...
差異が生じる。
Yep, yep, there you go.
血液型。俺は B だ。僕は血液型。正解だ。
Dang, that's a complicated quirk.
Yeah.
凝結血を舐めることで相手の体の自由を最大8分間奪
Whoa!
う。
プロが来るまで近接を避けつつ粘るのが最善だと思う。
轟君は血を流しすぎてる。僕が奴の気を引きつけるから後方支援を。
相当危ねえ橋だが
Okay, teamwork time.
二人で守るぞ。いいだ。
Oh, that
兄貴が
music.
やられてからのお前が気になった。
Yeah.
恨みつらみで動く人間の顔ならよく知ってたから。そういう顔した人間の
Jeez,
視野が
Deku!
どれだけ狭まってしまうのかも知っていたから。簡単なことだったんだ全部。
Jeez.
簡単なことなのに見えてなかった。
君の力じゃないか。
たった一言。その一言が。あいつをまず助けろよ。
助けに来たよ、リーダ君。
二人で守るぞ。
殺してやる。
Yeah. Ida's learning what it's like to be, what it means to be a hero.
こいつさっきまでと動
Oh
きが
my
全然。
gosh.
緑谷、やめてほしけりゃ立て。
Yeah.
俺がお前に
Deku's out of it again.
なりてえもんちゃんと見ろ。インゲニウム、お前を倒すヒーローの名だ。
Oh! This episode.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That was
It
amazing.
was not prepared.
Me neither. They are handling this so well. Like,
I am floored right now because they could have made this just a simple thing of them coming in to rescue him.
Yep.
And, you know, saving
Yep.
Ida and protecting their friend. But it's more than that. It's
so
about
much more.
people being reminded about what it means to be a hero. It's about those that are coming to grips with things that happened in the past and moving forward.
Yep.
It's about those that are held captive by those in the past and those that chose to let it go
right.
while still acknowledging what happened.
Exactly.
Ida is right now in the thick of the whole thing and unable
Right.
to see clearly what's going on because of
He's
the
in the
stuff-
thick of it, yeah.
Because he's in the thick of it, yeah.
Yeah.
And Deku and Todoroki are actually like the perfect people to save him in this
Yep.
instance because they could actually save him from more than just dying, from actually
Exactly.
becoming something that he's not.
Right.
And
Well said.
Ugh. Wow.
Like, and the way they're making Stain like so terrifying in this because like okay, with how fast Deku is right now and with how powerful Todoroki is, especially using both fire and ice at the same time.
Right.
It's kind of one of those things of like, how do you make the villains really scary?
Yeah.
And, well, Stain is the perfect example.
Yeah.
It's just
he just has
so
to get
good.
you on one of your mistakes.
Just the tiniest mistake, and he's got you.
And he's got you.
And the fact that he seems to just be so fast that even with Deku's crazy speed and you know all the stuff that Todoroki can do, it's still just not enough.
Yeah, and I think that this next episode they might go into Stain's backstory a little bit and explain
That
a
would
little
be
bit more about this, because his reflexes, I think, are what it is. It's not that he's insanely fast. He is really fast.
Right, because like Ida's fast. But,
yeah, but I would say he's slower than people like Ida and Deku.
Sure, but he has the
know-how of how to move.
Right.
Like, their movements are wasted, like, to an extent. Like, they could have a lot of speed, but they don't know how best to utilize said
their
speed.
mind isn't as fast as their body.
Sure, absolutely. And Stain's movements with, like, throwing the knife in the air for a distraction, throwing the knife initially to get at least one cut going in, then lunging forward above his ice and his fire to just get one lick is terrifying, because this guy seems like an animal. Like he's some kind of freak of nature. He's a predator, exactly. Yeah. And these guys are his perfect prey, except that there's a lot of them. So right now he seems to be having a lot of problems actually getting follow through on all of them at once, because he has a time limit, which is pretty clever. I think his quirk is right now the most complicated rules system for a quirk that we know of thus far.
Especially if it does something to like increase his own abilities.
That would make it even crazier. If there's anything else to his quirk other than this, it takes the cake for being the most three-dimensional quirk out there.
Right, and it really is great as far as just a mechanic goes for a crazy boss like Stain, because that means that he really can fight as many people as he needs to, because he can, you know, immobilize them and stuff.
Right, he's got a permanent, like a semi-permanent CC function, and he just keeps CCing those that he deems to be annoying.
Right.
But then if you have someone with enough power output like Todoroki, he just needs to wear Todoroki down.
Right.
And I could see that happening if he didn't have Deku keep butting in.
Exactly.
So is this going to end with Ida getting up and basically finishing him?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
In the right way,
well, because,
though?
okay. I don't think... All right. If Ida with his Recipro Boost thing or whatever... He goes really fast when he does that.
He does.
Now Stain still has his crazy reflexes, so I don't think he could just do that and win. But I could see that being... I could see
the start of Stain losing the
exactly,
fight.
yeah. And
like
then of
say
course,
he lets himself get wounded so that Stain will paralyze him, but he gets in one really good hit.
Right.
And then Deku and or Todoroki finishes. Do you think that Stain is gonna lose the whole thing though? Like I get the feeling that this is actually not going his way.
It isn't, but he's not
quite a lot.
He's not going to die or be taken captive.
But he can't run away from someone like Deku, could he? Like he has
I think he could. All he has to do is cut him just a little bit. Because the idea is that no one of them could take him on, right?
Individually, yes.
Individually, they have to be working together. So if he starts to run, even if Deku could keep up, then Stain could just, kill him or
right, because then Deku will be alone at that point.
Exactly.
Because he's the only one that probably could keep up with
Which means that...
Well, maybe Ida could.
Yeah,
but
maybe
I think the thing with Ida is that Ida isn't skilled enough maybe to avoid his blades.
Right.
Whereas
yeah.
I could see Deku being able to, because he just stays above him. Like think about it this way. Deku just bounds along the buildings above him and Stain keeps chucking blades at him like, get away from me.
Right.
But he's like, nope, I'm just gonna follow you and keep like on the phone with some pro heroes.
Because Deku can move on any axis, because he can use his hands, feet, head, whatever. Whereas Ida just has the boosters on the bottom of his legs.
Right, so he could run really fast.
He could run really fast, and he can do cool stuff with that, but he doesn't have as much maneuverability as Deku.
Right, so I could see that if Deku gets knocked out with this... Well, he got paralyzed again at this point.
Yes.
And if it lasts for, up to 8 minutes... If
so maybe
Stain
it's like
doesn't
2 minutes for him.
Yeah. If Stain doesn't end the fight soon, I don't see this ending well for him.
Right.
Because especially imagine if Endeavor shows up.
Well, he's already there.
Well,
but
no,
yeah,
but
he's
Endeavor
not
is
there.
fighting the Nomus right now.
Right. Yes.
So maybe if anything, Endeavor sees the Nomus as a more public threat. So he's like, this is gonna make me more popular.
Right. And here's the other thing. Deku did not send Todoroki the actual details. Now Todoroki did contact the other pro heroes. And he probably let him know what was up.
That's a good point. We might have to find out what he actually said. Did he say, I need help over here. Someone come help me. And they're like, yeah, we're about fighting the Nomus.
Exactly. And they wouldn't necessarily know that Stain is the one over there.
Sure. All they know is that some kid is over there.
Right. And that, there's probably something bad happening over there. So
but all they're going off on is just a GPS dot location. It doesn't give anything else. So that's a good point. I feel a lot safer about Ida's chances of living through this whole thing now.
Yes. I mean,
like a lot safer.
I didn't really think that Ida was gonna die because if they'll kill off a character, they'll make it very definitive in the actual episode that they are dead, rather than ending right before they're about to die. But there was still that part of me that wondered.
They already did the jump scare, so Ida's in the clear. It's the question of what's going to happen to Stain.
Yeah.
Because I get the feeling that Stain isn't just a throwaway character.
No.
And
I'm very happy that they made him, even though there was the part of him that, sort of respected what Deku was doing and all that stuff, I loved how they did that, but they still made him be like, but I'm still going to kill you.
Right, if you clash with me, he said, the weak will be cold.
Right.
Basically saying, if you're stronger than me, then I'll lose. But if I'm stronger than you, then you're going down.
And if you think about it, since he's said that the only one he will, let kill him is All Might, he's basically saying that he thinks that he is second only to All Might.
No. I think he's saying that All Might is the only one who's worthy to judge him.
Right, yes. All Might's the only one worthy to judge him.
Yes.
That is also more powerful than him.
No, I don't think he's saying anything about power.
Okay.
He's saying the only person that can, meaning the only person that he will let kill him, is All Might.
All right.
All Might is his idea of the perfect personification of a hero right now.
Right.
Because he basically says, I look up to you. You're what heroes should be.
Right.
And that gets me to think of, I want this next episode to be more backstory for Stain, especially if he loses here. Because I want to see, what made him do this whole thing? Was he a hero at one point?
Right.
I get this sincere feeling that he was a hero that looked up to All Might, much like Deku, much like Todoroki, much like every single character in this whole show, basically.
Yep.
And he saw something else. He saw something else in Heroes Society that was this is wrong.
A stark contrast between All Might and everyone else.
Right, so maybe he wants to be proven wrong that, All Might is actually fake. The idea that All Might will come up to him and he'll finally be revealed and he'll be like, oh, even you are fake. Which actually be kind of interesting, because technically All Might is kind of a fake.
Yeah.
So maybe Stain is right.
But
he's never going to get what he wants.
This is why I feel like with Stain they're going to do a lot of the pen is mightier than the sword kind of thing.
Yes.
Where it's, like you've been saying, it's more about his message than about his power.
Right. But he has no way of getting his message out, so it might just end here.
But, I hope it doesn't end here, because I am way more interested in the conversations that Stain can have with people than the fights that Stain will have with people.
Even though this is probably, so far, the best fight in My Hero Academia thus far. It's really high up there really quickly.
That's we can't just say that immediately.
I
think about that. But
I'm thinking about it.
Absolutely amazing.
This is top tier, at least second or third. At
least. It's definitely.
I think it is a easy contender for first place, depending on what happens in the next episode.
Sure. Yes.
Because it's going across multiple episodes.
Right. It's definitely a contender at the very least.
It's a contender, and it's also a contextual fight that's more than just a tournament fight.
Right.
In the way it's like how Todoroki and Deku's fight was more contextual than it was just about their powers clashing.
Yes.
Because I would say that's kind of the fight that Bakugo and Todoroki's was, in that we got to see Bakugo's quirk might be stronger than Todoroki's. We don't know. It's just that, the wielder adds that extra bit of power to the quirk itself.
Right.
And then maybe that's why I was, debating a while ago that Deku would beat Bakugo in a fight, is that Deku knows how to utilize his quirk really well almost every single time he uses it.
Yes, that is true.
But going back to this fight, I really want them to go in depth into this whole thing with Ida. Because imagine if he really hits rock bottom in this next moment in the fight.
Right. Like, because, yes, absolutely. Because it's not just that this happened. I don't want, like, if they brushed this, under the rug or just moved past it real quick, that would kind of suck.
I agree.
What I really want to happen, and I think you're getting at this too, is the idea that basically Ida was shown his true colors.
Right.
And he didn't like it.
And he didn't like it at all.
So now that's something he's going to have to come to terms with.
Right. So Todoroki called him out at the very end of the episode by saying, focus on what you want to be.
Yep.
Or decide right now what or who you want to be.
That'll become the
truth
of your
universe. Maybe realized that he's not supposed to be his brother. Right. Because his brother Stain might have been right. Maybe his brother wasn't the perfect hero. Maybe he'll go back and have another flashback and realize, my brother was a good hero, but he wasn't doing it for the right reasons or something.
There are so many Gurren Lagann quotes I want to just go through right
now.
There
are.
I'm not my brother. I'm me.
Yeah.
Or there's, we don't focus on what ifs, could have beens, or should be's.
Right. Oh my gosh.
I am so excited for what happens next in this show.
Yeah, and also really good brother dynamics are hard to come by in a show.
They are.
Where you're not focusing them primarily as the main characters.
Yeah.
Like Fullmetal Alchemist and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood get kind of a cheap, easy pass at it because the brothers are the main characters.
Right.
All the screen time is basically
about them.
Yeah.
So
a huge percentage of it.
Right.
But this is a side character. A pseudo-main character.
It's a pseudo-main character with a beyond side character.
Like a tertiary.
Right. Like, literally, Ida's brother only exists in the fact that he's Ida's brother.
Yes.
None of the other characters really, know about him or, have anything connected to him.
Right. And I already really care about their dynamic.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to know more about it, and I want Ida to come back to his brother with that added bit of perspective that he'll gain from this whole experience, and really talk to him about, okay, this is who I'm deciding to be. I can't take your name.
Right.
I can't take your name. That's not who I'm meant to be. And that's going to be something special because Ingenium might be kind of the family man hero. That's what I feel like. The idea of him passing on the name and Ida as well feeling like he inherited this.
Right.
Todoroki's like, no, that's crap.
Yeah.
You can't do that. That's essentially you not taking responsibility for your own actions. It's like, I must because this is my family and honor dictates.
Right.
That's not what this is about. You need to be a hero out of your own free will and choice.
Yes. And here's another thing to point out. This whole conflict with Ida and stuff, it wouldn't have hit so much home, like right here, if we didn't care about Ida so much already.
He's been my favorite character other than the Deku All Might combo this whole time.
He just has so much heart. So the fact that we're seeing that be put under pressure like this, it makes us 100% invested, And that's really something, because I don't think they could have done something like this with any of the other characters.
Well, they could have, but it just would have been different.
It would have been very different.
And it wouldn't have been as strong because every character we know of thus far has a more or less basic reason to be a hero.
Yeah.
And right now, Ida's was kind of a throwaway line. Oh, just his brother.
Yeah.
But there was no verb really attached to it.
Right, exactly.
It's not like, I want to become my brother, or even I want to be like my brother. It's more like, well, my brother is a hero, and he is a good person. He inspires. It's like, but where's the connection to you?
Exactly, right.
Ida?
And since we never got to see his brother,
it's all in his mind. It's all in his memories, his words, which is interesting because memories and words and all those are they're not objective.
Nope.
They're not immutable. They're heavily skewed by the perception of those that are the wielder, the eyes of the beholder. So Ida could be coloring over his brother just a little bit because he has that nostalgia lens of seeing this amazing older brother, when really he's just an average guy who maybe was being the hero because it was what he was supposed to do.
Sure.
But does he really have all the tenets of what it would mean to be a hero like All Might? No. Maybe if anything, Ida needs to kind of be another person that puts that burden again on All Might and be like, that's more of an example of what it means to be a hero, and shift it from his brother to someone else. Or maybe he looks at now at his friends in a more honored way of saying, Deku and Todoroki, you guys have shown me
your true colors
and what it means to be a hero, and I'm not there yet. I can sense that cognitive dissonance. I'm not where you're at right now. And they did that with him flashing back to the things that they said in context of what Stain told him of what you should have done. You should be trying to save Native here, not just trying to kill me. You're not being a hero right now. You're letting your hatred cloud your judgment.
And that was just handled so dang well.
There's some good choreography in the fight too.
There was.
I want to say that bit with Todoroki where he juked him was pretty good. But Deku's bit where he went underneath his legs and popped over, and Ida recognizing that as Bakugo's move is really cool, because I think if Ida hadn't have done that, I would have been like, oh, that's really cool, but I might not have immediately made... I might have made the connection later, but... Oh, that is Bakugo's moves. That's right.
And that is an excellent application of using the outsider that is observing the fight, because for one, there is a reason why Ida would be observing the fight and not partaking in the fight. He's paralyzed right now. Also, Ida's the one that tends to do that the most. He's the most observant. He is the analytical type, especially when it regards Deku, because he's shown how Deku's, risen to the challenges and how he's trying to do that too.
He was the first onlooker really in Deku's for Deku's heroics.
Exactly.
When they did the test at the in the fake city with the robots and stuff.
And also they made his comment about it quick. They made it quick, and it wasn't something that was already obvious. And I know that's kind of subjective, but because they didn't do the animation exactly the same, right?
It wasn't exactly.
It was something different, but it was the same kind of tactic.
Similar. Very similar, though.
Props to them for that.
Yeah, and because usually when anime side characters and this kind of shonen thing will have the main character fighting, they'll be like, "Whoa, look at the main character doing the thing!
What technique? What skill?"
And then the guy with the glasses will go, "Ching! It was actually this really powerful technique." And they'll go and monologue about it for all this time while the fight freezes basically just to fill for time.
Yeah.
But instead, Ida perceives exactly what it is,
and it's over in 5 seconds.
Yep. And then he goes on to saying, guys, why are you here? This is my thing. Which I want to get on that. I could see a lot of people watching this episode and being kind of frustrated at Ida for being immature about this whole thing here. But guys, think about it.
That's being human.
Think about what he's going through right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
He is a coiled mess of emotions right now.
Yes.
This is one of the things I think I kept forgetting about Ida, was he is one of the analytical people,
but he's
actually
by his emotions.
He's actually completely led by his emotions. One of the things that I learned about in kind of psychology, just through schooling and other stuff like that, is people process stuff by their logic primarily, but they make their decisions based on emotion. It's kind of a step.
Okay.
So you can see people, they'll perceive information, they'll process that information, and then basically translate that into emotion, which then becomes the fuel to make a decision. And that's kind of this step. There's a lot of other trains of thought and how it works and stuff. But Ida, it's easy to look at him and go, he's the analytical character with the glasses that makes the little ching thing where he pops up his glasses and they shine bright and stuff. And that's not Ida. Ida is the guy of the hand motions and the excited. Yeah, the bravo.
Yeah.
He's completely led by his emotions.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like the analytical side is actually him trying to be a better person, trying to be a better hero.
Sure.
Maybe even trying to be like Ingenium. He's trying to think what would Ingenium do in this situation?
Yeah, I can see that.
And the emotion is actually more truly where Ida's thing is. It's probably a mix, of the two.
Sure, yeah, it's probably not clear cut.
But that's one of the things that I makes him one of my favorite characters, is that he's the analytical character who's also one of the most emotional characters in the entire show.
In that way, he is kind of a lot like
like me, yeah. So that's awesome. I think Deku is one of those types as well.
Sure.
He is very much comfortable with letting his emotions just go all out on his sleeve.
But at the same time, he totally processes things logically. I loved that clever thing where, as he's talking with Stain and Ida, he has his phone behind his back. That was awesome.
Yeah. So he's thinking, and he's able to maybe segregate a little bit more of his emotions and his feelings from his logic so that he can do what needs to be done right now. And that maybe separates the pendulum in a way to where Bakugo's all the way on the other side.
Right.
He's also completely led by his emotions, but his logic is ingrained with it so much that he's able to make these decisions instantaneously without really much thought towards it. And that might not be personality. That might just be, experience.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no real way to tell perfectly when it comes to the fighting side of things.
Yes.
But, that's another good thing I'm going to bring up. I'm sorry, I'm ranting a little bit. But My Hero Academia has really emotional main characters that don't feel like they're fake people. Like, their emotions feel real when they are there.
Right. And, because...
And I just wanted to bring that up.
And I will say, I'd like to reinforce that is harder than it sounds. Coming from someone who is writing a book, it is not easy. Because, sometimes when you're writing it, you'll be like, okay, I need to come up with emotion. And if you realize that, great. But then sometimes, even when you do that, the emotions will be kind of samey because you're bringing it out from yourself, right?
And you're one person.
And you're one person.
Yeah.
Hopefully. So, but they have done a fantastic job in this show showing how different people react differently to different things. Yep. And because people make mistakes. If you have characters that never make mistakes, it's hard to get behind them. So the fact that they're having so many flaws come through, while at the same time having those flaws be varied and the situations that elicit those flaws be varied, is very impressive.
Yeah. What that means also is that this writing was not accidental. This was intentional.
No.
One of the things that you can see is accidental genius in storytelling. Someone will basically write something and you'll have seen no precedent for it prior, and then suddenly just a genius thing pops up and you're like, did they just have an epiphany?
Did they mean to do that?
Right. Well, sometimes it is an accidental bit in that they somehow genius just dawned upon them and they wrote it.
Right, or that thing that they know how to do really well.
Exactly. Yeah. That was the other bit, was that it can be a sudden arrival of genius, or it can be their one bit of genius that they do consistently throughout. But I would say this is an example of where the genius was something that we've seen multiple times before.
Sure.
In things like the Deku and Todoroki fight.
Yeah.
In things like... the
Kachan
fight. I was gonna say the Kachan Deku fight in the first season.
Yep.
Whole little things there that tell me that this writer knows how to write dynamic character interaction on multiple levels and in different settings and stuff.
And one of the things I'm really curious about is how long it takes him to write stuff like this, because it's very rarely that people will write stuff of this level right out the gate. And with something like a manga where it's coming out very consistently,
right?
Maybe he was able to just get the sort of the skeleton structure of it out, and then the anime figures out how to better portray it and capitalize on it or something.
Sure.
I don't know. That's a possibility. But I take my hat off to this guy because the ability to do stuff like this consistently, it's making me think that either he had a lot of prep work before he got it all started, so he had a bunch of it planned out, which he probably did to some extent, or that he's just a genius and can, pull it out of a hat no problem.
I think it's a combination of prep work, his own innate genius with specific things that he is really good at.
And probably his editor, too.
Well, also, I was going to say, actually, the fact that he's probably done a lot of stuff like this in the past.
Sure,
This is probably not his only work. It's not like J.K. Rowling, where they just kind of stumbled into Harry Potter, right?
Yeah, okay.
I want to say, having Endeavor being brought to the forefront is weird. It feels wrong. But I want to say
I like it.
Well, here's the thing, though. Endeavor is the exact, opposite of what Stain thinks a hero should be.
Right.
He is the personification of power corruption.
Right, and why the kind of someone like Stain would end up existing.
But the thing is, Stain and Endeavor are now, within less than a mile from each other.
Yep.
What if they actually meet?
That would be awesome.
There's no way, now that we know that this is Stain's quirk, that he could beat Endeavor.
Probably not. I don't think so.
But my thing is that what if basically Stain's whole thing here is that he just wants to change things. He's not as, like, I'm gonna be a little crazy here, he doesn't care as much about his life.
I could see that.
Because he's saying kind of anyone that can kill me is All Might.
Right.
What if he sees Endeavor and he goes, oh, you, like, Endeavor, you're the, and he charges him, Endeavor just burns him alive. And he'll go out a martyr, and his message will essentially live on somehow. But
okay, possibly, possibly, but I mean that could happen.
Yeah.
What I would like to happen, and not necessarily right now, but later in the future.
Sure.
What I would want to have happen is that Stain basically sees Endeavor, and he realizes like how like messed up Endeavor is, and he basically goes to destroy Endeavor by destroying his reputation, right? He basically lets everyone know, like,
so this like is way in the future.
Yeah, like way in the future.
So is this like a Stain breaks out kind of story or something?
I don't know, but
okay. So that involves Stain living through this experience,
right? I don't think Stain will die here. I certainly don't think he'll die here. Yes, but I don't think he'll get captured. He could, but I don't think so. I think
I'd actually see that. Yeah. Like, especially if he basically panics because the pros arrive.
Right, and
he paralyzes all of them, and he disappears into the shadows.
Yeah, and
maybe what they'll actually see is Kurogiri will preemptively be like, yeah, I know I have my orders, but he's like, this guy's really important for for our goals.
Teleports him away.
So he warps him away.
Yeah, that could happen. Yeah. And now this is my crazy thing that I would love to see. So Stain basically destroys Endeavor's reputation of like being a hero, right?
Right.
And he basically uses that as a way to say like, hey, this is how messed up your society is. All Might's really the only one that's a good guy, from what I've seen.
And as far as we can see right now, like maybe in the future, like All Might's basically like either gone or he's waning to the point where even All Might's dwindling away.
So then what I want to see is basically Stain killing Endeavor where he dies in the process.
Oh.
Like he dies in the process, or like he ends up basically going on some kind of suicidal mission. He takes down Endeavor, he kills him, and then either he ends up dying from Endeavor, or he ends up getting like killed by other people or taken in by other people, and at that point he's like, that's fine. I've gotten my message out there, I've done what I needed to do. If All Might wants to kill me or whatever, that's fine.
Stain needs a support system. He is very, very vulnerable as a one-man vigilante.
Absolutely.
He needs an Alfred, like an evil Alfred. Like he needs some kind of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cave.
No, Kurogiri, like straight up.
Kurogiri is kind of a
you know what?
I actually see him as kind of already a dark Alfred.
Yeah. I think he even has the suit.
Well, he does.
Yeah.
He looks like a bartender that's just kind of classy,
with the portals coming out of him. I would almost love to see. Now this is maybe crazy. I would love to see Kurogiri split from the villains, because we haven't really seen any of his personality yet.
Well, so yes, but I think that's because he's kind of a plot point to make the villains actually really a threat anywhere.
Absolutely. So I don't think that any of that would be happening anytime soon.
So we need to give him actual background before he would do any betrayals.
Exactly, but I would love to see him and Stain maybe just going around doing stuff. They would be a pretty sick combo.
Awesome. Yeah, because Kurogiri could separate anyone that he didn't want to have there.
Yep.
But I feel like Kurogiri owes something to the big bad, and that's why he's with Shigaraki. Because I don't think he enjoys being with Shigaraki.
No, it's that I get the feeling he feels like he's babysitting.
Yes. Yes, so maybe Kurogiri is actually the second in command.
Sure.
And Kurogiri. No, here's what it is. Kurogiri is the one that saved the big bad
when he fought All Might.
Yep. Yeah. That has to be it. Because if your quirk is that rare, like you're basically saying no one has a warp a warp quirk, that's really problematic. How do we have security against something like that?
You don't.
You don't.
Yeah.
But that's why All Might didn't beat him necessarily.
Right. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Maybe he's like beaten down and All Might's like, give up. And All Might's like just pissed. He's like, you need to be stopped. And he's like, never. And then suddenly like purple energy and he's just gone. And All Might's like, crap.
Yep.
Maybe All Might like left him in such a state also that like he doesn't assume him to really be a threat anymore.
Yeah, that could be a thing.
Yeah.
And also, it almost...
Also, if he's not really like a strong character, he's more of an intelligent character, it's not like he's the present threat. It's his actions that might be the present threat.
Yeah. Now, here's something else that they could do. You remember in Daredevil, when they were building up... dang it, I forget the villain's name in the first season.
Yeah.
But they had the other guy who was always going around to my employer, and he dressed very nicely, and my employer.
Yeah.
I almost see Kurogiri as being like that guy.
Yes,
and he's like the best bro of the bad guy, and he's like, fine, I'll watch your kid, you know, like
Kingpin was the name of the villain.
Yes.
But yeah, the guy who walked around and was basically the spokesman for the Kingpin was a very compelling character. And he seemed to really care about him. Like there was an actual brotherly relationship going on there. And I kind of liked that. Kurogiri doesn't seem to have any
he hasn't
relationship
really
with
he almost
anyone
seems
yet.
very detached.
Detached, yes.
Yeah.
Almost as if he's not even there. Wow.
I'll bet no one's made that joke before.
It's like he exists in another dimension.
Yeah, his mind's always somewhere else.
Anyhow, this is the first time they've done this with a fight.
That's true.
They've never had a fight split into multiple episodes.
No
Nomu
versus All Might.
Yeah. I would say though that Nomu versus All Might was basically contained in one episode, but it was just the USJ incident that was sprawled over multiple episodes. Because remember, All Might didn't show up
until the end of like episode 11, I think.
Yeah, or something. But he basically showed up, and once he showed up, they had a cliffhanger. And then the next episode, he fought Nomu.
And
but
I think
in that same episode,
punching him into space or whatever.
Yeah, so there really hasn't been a fight with the same character against the other character. But those were kind of group fights anyway, and this is a group fight.
That's true.
Yep. I want to shout out to that as well. They're not having dumb one-on-one fights for the sake of just having them be one-on-one.
Not slapping people until their health bar goes to 0. Like, this is actually, like, there's moving parts, you know. The opponents change out, and you have to, like, defend the people that are down and stuff.
Exactly.
Like, that's really top-notch stuff.
Quality.
Yeah.
I don't really have any other predictions.
Me neither.
I'm really torn on whether or not Stain is actually going to make it out of this.
Oh, he will. They're not gonna get rid of him this early.
Because that's the thing, though. I have to think about this show logically, because they don't do the illogical thing, I would say, in this show. They very much make there be a reason as to why everything happens.
Even if they surprise you.
You'll kind of look back and go, oh yeah, I could have seen that coming.
And here's the biggest reason I would say that Stain can't end here. His story has to go on. Because
he could get beaten here but not be over.
Right, exactly. Because he was introduced at the end of season 1. They're not going to do something like that and then have them just be around for like a handful of episodes in season 2 and then be done. They're just not
forever.
That.
I'm just saying, Jacob, will he be beaten here?
Yes.
And be taken off the streets, forever?
I don't think he'll be taken off the streets.
Then how is he going to be beaten and not get stopped?
He'll run away.
Okay, why should he be able to run away?
Because he's really fast and/or...
Is he that fast, though? The thing, every time I look at him fight, he got punched by Deku multiple times now.
Yeah.
He is not that fast. He is quick, and he has smart reflexes, and that's what I was saying. He doesn't waste his movements, whereas Deku and Ida are fast, but they don't know how to move. They're not trained. He feels like some kind of Army Ranger, Navy SEAL kind of,
Yeah.
He's specialized in like 5 different martial arts and stuff.
Absolutely.
But he's not actually like fast. Like, he doesn't run fast. Like, maybe he can run like 15 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, but Deku can jump.
Well, Deku is crazy fast, but I would say
Ida, I'd say, is faster than Deku now.
Oh, yes. Ida, well, not right now.
Not right now, but yeah.
But yeah, and I would say that, yes, I would say all of that applies, but that doesn't mean that Stain isn't super fast, and the fact that he is able to go around and move around on his own and kill all the people that he kills, or attack the people that he attacks in different cities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's got to have a means of getting around. He can't just, like, get on a bus. Like, people know his face, don't they?
No, but see, he wears a mask, Jacob.
Yeah,
here's the thing. I think he's a true-to-heart vigilante.
That, like, during the day, he just takes off all his stuff, keeps his tongue in his mouth, and no one can tell the difference.
No. He goes underground. He goes and hides somewhere. He uses the subway. He goes to places where fewer people are going to see him or notice him. He has his getup. He puts it in a backpack, and he moves around with a hood over his head.
I'm just saying, if he's been able to consistently defeat so many heroes, and do it all in different places without getting caught and all that, then he has to have some way that he uses to get away. And I think
it's just that he is smart, and he is a little bit better at everything physically than even the trained human being.
Possibly, but there's
nothing in his quirk that gives him the reason as to how he should be able to get away, unless he paralyzes all of them simultaneously.
One, that we know of yet. Two, people have been doing things that are not physically possible all the time in this show.
Okay, so you want to make a bet here of whether or not he gets captured?
No. I think there's a decent likelihood that he might get captured, but I just don't think it'll end up happening.
Okay, so your reasoning is that it makes more sense from a story perspective that he will get away because of the way he was introduced.
Right.
So this is the same kind of formula you used for Deku and Todoroki. You're thinking about what the story's best option could be,
because it's not
rather than what is actually being predicted.
Shut up. It's not just that. It's the fact that the way they've set him up to be able to do certain things and be good at certain things, right?
But it's all said stuff. It's not actually shown.
So?
That's different.
It is different, absolutely.
We assume more potentially when we don't know what's actually going on.
But if nothing else, just from this fight, they have shown him to be very fast. You cannot have reflexes that, like even if you have the great reflexes, if you don't have the body that is capable of keeping up with them, which his reflexes are astounding, then it doesn't really matter. Right? So the fact that he can do all these things means that he is at least quite fast.
Yeah, I would say that he is faster than almost anyone in UA besides Deku and Ida.
Right. And I'm saying if that's the case, then I don't think Deku and Ida would be able to chase after him and take him down.
No, I'm not saying that they are. Remember my joke thing?
Is that
Deku's just going to follow him above and be like, where are you going, buddy? Where are you going? And he's going to try and just juke him out, and then the pro heroes will come and shut him down. Because my thing is that how many pro heroes are going to get called when there's 3 Nomus? Like, if Endeavor's here, what if Endeavor's entire agency shows up?
Oh, I could totally see that happening.
And there's 30 heroes, and they all take down a Nomu.
Currently, no one necessarily knows about Stain yet.
Sure, that's true.
So Stain could also just, get away, and then they're like, oh crap, Stain's here. It's like, yeah, Deku's chasing after him. And then they're like, crap, and then they're not able to catch him in time, because of whatever.
Yeah.
Because again, Stain probably...
It seems like plot convenience to have him get away at this point. It does not seem like he should be able to easily get away.
Unless, of course, he does Kurogiri.
Yes, and I'd say Kurogiri is the best reason as to why he should get away. But if Kurogiri leaves prior to the fight ending with Stain, because of whatever reason, that Stain's going to get captured. That's just...
Okay.
I don't see... I'm disappointed is what I'm saying, is that I see Stain's character might end up being actually kind of like Kingpin. Did you see Daredevil Season 2?
Yes.
Did you see the part where Kingpin was brought into prison and he takes over the entire prison?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see Stain's storyline actually being a thing where he gets put into prison and he's like the hero there. They're like, yes, dude, you... And then he doesn't even care about all the worship. And then he does the
Rorschach thing and says that I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
Well, right, but not only that, he doesn't care. And that makes them like him even more. Like, he's so badass, he doesn't even care about all the hero worship, essentially.
Well, okay.
And he uses them, essentially, to break out in the future. Because I think his character's too good to have die, absolutely. Right. But I don't think, because of the way this is being handled, that he will get away completely. He'll get away maybe from Deku, Ida and Todoroki, but he won't get away from the pro heroes, maybe.
Okay. One of the things that I could see happening is that basically he ends up running away, but he basically realizes that, okay, that was a close one. I'm just going to lay low for a bit. I'm going to go to some other city, whatever, and then that way, then he comes back later, right?
Possibly. Okay, I'll leave there to be in my mind, there's a 20% chance of that happening.
Gotcha. I would say I see a 30% chance of him getting captured.
Okay, I see a 50% chance of him getting captured, and a
30%
chance that he's actually going to get
killed.
No, not killed, but stopped in such a way that's not like he's just getting captured. Like, there's more to it than that.
Okay.
And then 20% that he'll actually just get away entirely.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just have to see. And I'm very excited to see the next episode.
Yeah, this is a good episode to leave on a cliffhanger because they gave us so much meat to go over and stuff that we could go on for a while.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. Well, if you want to watch the next MHA episode, go check out the link in the description for our Patreon. Get on early access, and yeah, we'll see you later. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.